Counting down the days, the future feels so distant. A lot of things have changed, and few have been resistant.
Testing.
I'm counting down the days, the future feels so distant. A lot of things have changed.
All right, welcome to the Decentralist, and hit me up in the chat Let me know I'm not talking to myself. We've got a few people on. We've got some YouTube people. We've got some Twitch people. So today we're going to be doing what we do most days. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin. Let me turn this down. We're going to be diving into Bitcoin, and then we're going to spend most of the time looking at the Decentralions project. There's been some awesome updates today, stuff I've been working on. I really want to share with you guys. Hey, Master J. By the way, I know you messaged me today with your true identity, and I'm not gonna reveal your real identity. But why Master DZAY? It's really, I don't know whether to say Master Day, Master Zay, Master Z, Master. It's confusing. The Pathfinder, subscribe to the channel. Hey, buddy. Thanks, man. Hi, Shirley. Master J? Oh, Zay. Is that like, what? Is that... What country's that? Master J. That's, okay, that's way better. Okay, I'm going to call you Master J, because Master Zay was just really confusing me. Okay, this is... Engineers, this is your fault. I'm trying to stream to Instagram, and it's saying unable to connect. And I don't know why. Could you go in and fix that, please? Who's the head engineer today? Someone put their hand up and let me know who's the head engineer today. Hey, Kaz. Kaz is the sound engineer. Master Zay says Master J was taken. Oh, I see. Okay. Hey, Jew. Good to see you. Hey, Tony. All right, cool. Today's going to be fun. I really enjoy when it's not just the Bitcoin analysis. I mean, it's cool and everything, but just doing it for like 2 hours or something, like constantly, it's quite heavy, and it's quite nice to change things up and do other stuff. Pardon me. How you guys doing today? What day is it? Thursday. So this is the last live stream I'm doing this week. So not tomorrow, not Saturday, and then back on it on Sunday. And then Sunday is the launch of this pre-mint. So I'm gonna send. I was meant to send out an email today, but I just went really deep with the mechanics that we were talking about yesterday. Master J brought up some interesting, just some interesting ideas. In regards to the mechanics of the Decentralion NFT collection, and so I spent all day working on it, and just went deep, and got some really cool stuff to share with you guys. So I was going to send out an email today. Oh, in fact, Kaz says restart Insta app. No, Kaz, you're the sound engineer. So if we're going to like cross roles, everyone's going to be stepping on each other's toes. So if you're the sound engineer, someone else has got to be the Instagram engineer. Yeah, but it's not going through my phone. It's going through an app, an API or something. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Like we're all focused on YouTube and Twitch right now. So Instagram can suck it. What was I saying? That was it. So I'm going to show you guys right now. There it is. All right, sweet. All right, so we might as well just start here. We'll go to Bitcoin in a bit. So I want everyone right now to go to, in fact, can I type, yeah, let's see if I can type it in the chat. Oh, it's not spelled right. That's also not spelled right. That is spelled right. Let's double check. Oh, the camera's frozen. Okay, who broke it? Hands up, who broke it? It wasn't you, Kaz. You're focused on the sound engineering stuff. Hands, come on, admit it. You've got to take responsibility for your actions, right? This is very, very important. All right, I've just shared a link that I want everyone to go to, and waiting for you is the opportunity to sign up to the exclusive whitelist for the Decentralions. You go and do that. Whoever broke my camera, I mean, come on, I want you to step forward and admit it. You got to be the big man or the big girl. And while you're doing that, I will just fix the camera that you broke. And we're back. So you guys crashed the streaming software. I say you guys, whoever's in charge, who's the head engineer today, although no one's admitting taking responsibility. There we go. Seriously, no one's going to take responsibility for it? Who's the head engineer today? So yeah, head over. I'll retype it. Oh no, you guys should see it in the chat. So kingsilver.com/Decentralions, and then you just scroll down, and right there is join the exclusive whitelist. This is the only way you're going to find out where to go on Sunday. Only people on the exclusive whitelist are the ones that are going to be told where to go. And let me know when you've done done it, and then I'll carry on. I'll like take you through what I've done today, and we can start to talk about it. Master J done, nice.
Till sunrise.
All right, I'll just start going through some really interesting mechanics. So So I've gone back to where we started in terms of the quantity of the founders. I really like the idea of there being a smaller quantity, so that sort of to reward. Tony's done, nice one, Tony. To reward the ones who are here first. Ju's done, well done, Ju. But you've got to balance the short term with the long term, and so fast forward a year or two, if we've got like millions of people inside the platform, then if we just had 25 of these founders NFTs, then it might just seem a bit too exclusive. Now, there's something I'm going to be talking about, which I don't think I've written on this page, but it's a really interesting idea. This doesn't sound like synthwave. Yeah, this is pop. What the hell, guys? Kaz, you're in charge of the sound. Why have you put pop on? Kaz, are you into pop? Is this your thing? Are you trying to sneak some pop in here?
And I keep falling, it's all your fault. It's all your fault. And I blame you for loving me, baby. Be lost in your eyes. Stealing my time and all my weekends. Making me want you, yeah. Blame you for driving me crazy. Always on my mind. Changing my whole life for the better. Making me want forever. I blame you.
There we go. Kaz, I was going to say, but I didn't want to offend you. Thought it was your taste. No. Hey, look, the occasional pop song is fine, but that's not the vibe of this show. I was like, hang on, what the hell? Na. No, that's not how we do. How's the volume of this music? And then I talk, it goes down. I know when I talk, the volume's fine, but when I stop talking, is it too loud? Is it just right? Volume okay, nice. Okay, so I'll be interested to hear what you think about this, Master J, because you're the one who brought up well, there was one thing you brought up, which was a potential way that somebody could game the system, and I was saying that the NFT game Zrun have an interesting mechanic to prevent that. But there's a mechanic in the number one NFT game, Axie Infinity, which I think is really, really elegant. So I'm going to go for it today. So I've played around with the generations a little bit. I've added Knight in there just because Knights are cool as fuck, and that's the only reason. And I think because they're kind of warriors, but they're a bit more kind of they're cooler. Warrior just sounds a bit savage, a bit too military, but a knight just sounds badass. It sounds cool. See what you guys think. So I've got founder, hero, magician, knight. Because like a founder, places the flag on the hill, right? They're the first ones, and then they provide the entire context of the hero's story. The hero gives the meaning, provides the meaning for the hero, and the hero then does his thing. And in the hero's journey story, the hero meets a magician, a wise man, and then I suppose following from that is you get like the sub heroes, the knights. You had King Arthur, and then the Knights of the Round Table, and then we've got engineer, builder, artist, scholar. I'm open to ideas. This is just kind of brainstorming ideas. Again, even with the pre-mint on Sunday, this is still like an open, creative process that we're all involved in. So, but I think we all like the idea that we are starting with founder. Like, we like that. And one thing I've changed here is that I've said here the quantity is 100, but I haven't given the quantities here. I've just said that the heroes will be 10x of Gen 1, the magicians will be 10x of Gen 2, etc., etc. So each generation will be 10x in quantity the previous generation, and there's a reason why I've made that change, and I'll share it with you in a minute. So nothing here has changed. So I went through this yesterday. If you weren't here yesterday, then the recording is inside the King Silver network. You can go check out the recording, and it's on YouTube as well, and Twitch. That hasn't changed. So I've added this, but I mentioned this. We talked about this yesterday, but I'll read this out, right? So mint the next generation. Decentralions have the responsibility of minting the next generation of Decentralions. I think I can get rid of sort of repeating myself. Decentralions have the responsibility of minting the next generation with the chance of passing on their rare traits and even creating new traits in the process. If someone wants to join the ecosystem, or I should say the King Silver ecosystem, join the King Silver ecosystem. If someone wants to join the King Silver ecosystem or upgrade to a better Decentralion, they will either have to buy one from a secondary NFT marketplace, like OpenSea, for example, or go to the King Silver Decentralion minting auction site where existing Decentralions offer their minting services. The earlier the generation and the better the traits, the higher the price is likely to be. So founders mint heroes, heroes mint magicians, etc. So founders are the only Decentralions who can mint heroes, and heroes are the only Decentralions who can mint magicians, etc., etc. Each generation has the power to mint the next. And as the ratio of each generation is always maintained at approximately 10x the older generation, the greater supply of minting Decentralions, the greater supply of minting generation, well, actually, I think it should say the increasing supply of, hang on, this is not right. The greater supply of minting Decentralions in each generation will actually lead to newer generation being accessible to everyone. That's a clunky sentence. Each generation has the power to mint the next, and as the ratio of each generation is always maintained at approximately 10x the older generation, oh, I see what it's supposed to say. It's just written terribly. Who wrote this? Was this you guys? So I think that's worded okay. Each generation has the power to mint the next, and as the ratio of each generation is always maintained at approximately 10x the older generation, newer generations will have, I should say, more minting competition. I write not good. Have more minting competition, leading to those generations being more, or being the newer the generation, the more minting competition there will be, and the more accessible new Decentralions will affordable Decentralions will be. That's enough. Let's try again. Each generation has the power to mint the next. And as the ratio of each generation is always maintained at approximately 10x the older generation, the newer the generation, the more minting competition there will be, and the more affordable new Decentralions will be. Saying will be twice. No, I think that's implied. Okay, makes sense. I write no, not good. Yeah, you heard about that yesterday. So here we go. So I've added quite a few bits and bobs, and this is partly inspired by CryptoPunks, but also inspired by Zedrun and inspired by Axie Infinity, because like I think it was you, Master J, who pointed this out. Like, what's important is the fact that these are utility tokens, right? The most important thing, what sets the Decentralions apart from other NFT projects, is the real utility, right? And the real utility is this, right? Is the discount on the tax that you will pay from the profits in the ecosystem. And so, like any tax, if you're not bringing in much revenue, then it doesn't really matter. But if you're bringing in a huge amount, then even a small percentage can make a huge difference. And so the utility of these are really, really, really powerful. But there is still a huge, awesome, fun collector's component that would be stupid not to include in these. Like, we could keep it super, super simple and just have it as just these discount percentages, and that's it. And you know, that's fine. But since we're going to this effort, why not just step up and make something amazing and make it something that is truly collectible? And look, I think if you're going to do something, make the best thing you can possibly make, so that you get some people who are interested in the King Silver ecosystem, they want to use the King Silver ecosystem, but then there's some people that just want to collect great NFTs, and great NFTs that also are not just artwork. They have real utility, real demand. People will want them, and the supply will be limited. And so that's what sets them apart in a really fantastic way. So, across all generations of Decentralions, there are 4 traits. I think I've updated it. There's more than 4 now. There's like 6 traits that can radically change the rarity. I'm calling them types, fusion cells, genius. Okay, genotype, that should say returns. Okay. Types, fusion cells. I'm sure we can come up with a new name for it. You'll see what I mean when I get to it. Genius, returns, and attributes. So there are 6 types. Varying fusion cells that impact how often they can mint new Decentralions and attributes or attributes. Varying genius that affects the probability of producing brand new rarer traits. Brand new rarer traits in the Decentralions and attributes they mint, varying returns, which designates the percentage of their profits they have to pay to the King Silver Treasury, and a huge combination of possible attributes, all with different degrees of rarity. So the types, I've been playing around with ideas as well for these. Like yesterday, we were going for something slightly different than what I've got now. And again, I want to get your guys' opinion on this. Now, these are completely for collectors. These have no utility whatsoever. It's the same utility as with CryptoPunks. You've got the apes and the zombies and the aliens. Again, this is just the cool factor. So there is a 0.1% chance of getting, again, these are all kind of placeholder artwork. These will be like the slightly different bodies on which will be layered over the various attributes to make them really custom, but the underlying bodies will be kind of unique. So for example, with CryptoPunks, the aliens, you can see it's all kind of roughly the same, apart from the female has a slightly different shaped head. But you can see like the alien, the apes, the zombies, there's like a base body, and then on top of that are all the different attributes and stuff. And so if you've got a rare alien, it's like there's 9 out of 10,000, which is like 0.1% chance of having that. And just look at that, the cheapest alien is 7,000 Ethereum, which is God knows how many millions. And then the males, which are much more common, are the cheapest one is 63 or 64,000 Ethereum, which is still not cheap. And these have absolutely no utility whatsoever, apart from like the flex utility. So what I've got is, and again, open to ideas. I like order. I like it starts with order and ends with chaos. So what I've written for order is, so these are the colors. First of all, order is yellow because, like, these are synthetic lion bodies, and the yellow ones look kind of cool, right? I think yellow makes sense for lions. So the base, most common Decentralion will represent order. I've got order Decentralions build the foundations, system and rules that allow for cooperation, planning and sustainability necessary for the building of great civilizations. So everything is built on order. Although that should say the cooperation planning system. Okay, cool. And then the next one will be blue, and you'll have half the probability of getting blue as opposed to the yellow, and the blue I'm calling flow. And so for flow, it says flow Decentralions are liquid metal bodies that can shape shift at will, letting go of what was to be what is, and remaining open to what will be, making it was called waters, making flows one of the making flows one with the ever-changing flows of life. Right, if I'm saying flows twice, making flows, I'll say at one with the ever-changing with the constant change of life, I'll say. I don't know. So I'm kind of like, I'm trying to sort of get a little bit deep, but I don't know if it's taking away the fun by getting a bit too, not too deep. It is a bit fun, right? This guy's apparently liquid metal. And then I've got this guy just called and my thinking here is, this is orange. Now we get down to 8% probability you'll get this guy, you'll get the Decentralions exist in a state of perpetual presence, in the present moment, with no regret from the past or anxiety about the future, and living in the fullness of every passing moment. They're like, that's like the oh, it's kind of cool. So you could have someone, and I think these different types can have different kind of face structures where they're like, for example, when we get to chaos, it'll be kind of a bit like, you know, contrarian, a bit like moody, a bit like, you know, like these guys look evil, but in a kind of cute way. Order will be very kind of down to earth and straight ridged, kind of like no nonsense. Flow will be all kind of like hippie. And I think would be just like, I don't know, we'll try and think of how someone can look like when they're just in the moment, amazed at everything, kind of, you know, like big wide-eyed, like he's fully experiencing everything. And I've got here, again, open to ideas, I've got Elder, and this will be silver, and there's a 1.5% chance of getting an Elder. Elder Decentralions have been around since the very beginning, having witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations, and are revered as wise beings whose counsel is sought far and wide. So I thought elders can, they can look a bit like, I don't know, like wiser. They can have different shaped heads maybe, and they look kind of maybe older. I don't know. Just open to ideas. And then I've got spirit, and that can be gold. And we go right down to 0.4%. And I've just got here ascended energy bodies, unbounded from the physical and temporal dimensions of our material reality. I'm sure we can play with that. And then we sort of end of chaos. We start with order and we end with chaos. And I think I haven't changed this from yesterday. And this guy can be green, or it could be purple, green or purple. Like green seems to be like you know, like Pepe the Frog. Like that, this kind of like, you know, like gab.com, this kind of like counterculture kind of thing. Green seems to be a color that seems to go with that, but purple's also a good one as well. Chaos Decentralions are the deviants, the mischief makers, disruptors and trolls whose resistance to rules and convention test the validity of ordered systems and prevents them from becoming tyrannical, which I think is true. There's a role for chaos to play. So I read that out yesterday, but I don't know, these are kind of fun, but I'm open to ideas. And again, this is something that even with the pre-mint on Sunday, we can still work this out. It's a pre-mint, like this isn't done yet. This is all kind of work in progress. Okay, now the fusion cells idea. So one thing that Master J brought up yesterday is, you know, you don't want people to just like be, first of all, just mint. Well, yeah, you want people to be minting. If they can mint the next generation of Decentralions, we don't want them just minting like a million Decentralions. That's just not going to be good for anyone, because it's all about supply and demand, and you want to make sure that the supply of Decentralions is doesn't overwhelm demand, so that it protects the value of Decentralions for everyone. And so you want to be able to ensure that even though every Decentralion has the ability to mint the new generations, you want to make sure that is controlled in some way. Now, yesterday we talked about how what Z-Run do is they have an algorithmically determined floor price. So it costs a minimum cost to well, in Z-Run you breed horses. So in Z-Run there's a minimum price to breed horses, and so if they wanted to breed horses for themselves, it would cost them money, you know. So now Axie Infinity, they do something different, and I like their option. I like the way they do it. It's very, very elegant. So I'll read this out. A fusion cell. Oh, fusion core. I think I changed it. Fusion core. The fusion core has a score between 0 and 100. The better the FC, the fusion core, the better the FC a Decentralion has, the less time it takes to recharge after minting a new Decentralion or a new attribute. An FC of 0, I'll just change this now, core, an FC of 0, fusion core. An FC of 0 doesn't mean that a Decentralion can't mint. It just means that out of all of the other Decentralions, they will have the longest wait times between mints. The probability of a Decentralion having a better fusion core, gets exponentially less smaller. I did wording good. The probability of a Decentralion having a better fusion core gets exponentially small. I think that's how you do it. So I've got here, this is the approx probabilities, and so to have 100, there's a 0.1%, and it goes all the way up to a 35% chance of having 0 fusion core. But again, this is all open to ideas. We can all play with this. And if you get 0, just means you'll have to wait more time before each mint. And if you get 100, you'll be able to do it faster. Now, this is okay. We'll get to the cool stuff down here. So I've got here Genius. Genius also varies from 0 to 100. The more genius a Decentralion has, the higher the probability that the Decentralion they mint will have new and better traits, like on top of what they already have. So, have I said power? I think I changed that, didn't I? Not power. What did I change power to? Well, that was the fusion core, I think. So, fusion core, genius. What else have I got? Return. Yeah. Mom. Okay, this isn't even a finished sentence. Hang on. Let's say, and the more often they can mint new Okay. So I was busting this out today. I haven't proofread this. So I've like copied this paragraph from up here and haven't changed it. So a genius of 0 I don't think I need that. It's sort of self-explanatory. And it'd be like the same, I think the same probability, because it's a good probability distribution, I think. Oh. Okay, so yeah, genius means that you'll be the greater your genius score, the more likely you are to the Decentraline that you end up minting, the more likely that it will have better traits than even that you have, right? And if you're minting new attributes that are separate and can be, sold on secondary markets, the higher your genius, the more likely, the higher probability that you'll produce something like rarer and cooler. And then return, this is just one I'm thinking what to call the fact, it's the discount on the profit fee, the profit, like the treasury fee. So the return, each generation has a possible percentage range that represents the discount that the Decentraline gets on the fee that is paid to the King Silver treasury on profits earned within the King Silver ecosystem. This range is called the return. I'm sure we can think of a better name for it. And represents God. This range is called the return, and the earlier the generation, the greater the possible return. Example, the treasury fee discount for founders is between 90 and 100%, and it's randomly generated based on preset probabilities. And so a generation 1 return could be 195. Generation 1, 95%. The earlier the generation, the more risk that has been taken, and so the greater the reward when the project succeeds. I don't think we need to say that. It's kind of self-evident, I think. But that's why it's called a return, like risk, return. And then a very similar kind of breakdown. 100%, I can change. Yeah, so it's like the approximate probability. And then we've got the attributes, and I've added just a bunch of I'm totally open to ideas here, but I love the idea that we can come up with loads, and then we can decide on how many attributes, what's the maximum number of attributes that can be on one Decentralion, right? I mean, with CryptoPunks, you can have a maximum of 7, so we can copy that, but we can decide for ourselves. And there can be loads. There's like approximately 80 CryptoPunk attributes, but we can have as many as we, within reason, Now, this is new, right? So I was thinking, if we go back to the very top, what are Decentralions? Decentralions are synthetic bodies within the King Silver ecosystem, inhabited remotely by anonymous consciousnesses. Every Decentraline is unique, with each one offering different benefits to their owners according to their generation type and attributes, although we can add a few more things there. So they are synthetic bodies that are inhabited by remote consciousnesses. Well, these synthetic bodies, have to be powered, and that's why I've got here the fusion cores. They are fusion powered. These are futuristic, advanced synthetic bodies that are powered by fusion, like Iron Man. Iron Man has that thing in his chest, which is a fusion reactor, and that's how Decentralions are powered, right? With fusion reactors, fusion cores. And if you look at how fusion, like one of the main fuels for fusion is tritium. I think this is how you pronounce it, tritium. So Decentralions, being advanced remote controlled synthetic bodies, are powered by nuclear fusion. The primary fuel is used is tritium or tritium. What do you guys think? Tritium, which is an isotope of hydrogen, which is needed whenever new Decentralions or attributes are minted. Tritium is earned by Decentralions, creating value in the King Silver ecosystem. So as well as earning, King Silver, as well as producing value and earning profit, in real money terms in King Silver, as you do that, you'll also be earning tritium. And there's also, I think I googled it over here. Here we go. Look, that's What else did I search for? That was it. I asked ChatGPT, didn't I? Here we go. Look. So we've got deuterium and tritium. The primary fuel for nuclear fusion is hydrogen, specifically isotopes of hydrogen such as deuterium and tritium. Now, I like tritium because trit is a unique ticker. Right? I looked at CoinMarketCap and trit isn't there, and so I'll carry on. Tritium is earned by that's earned by people creating value in the King Silver ecosystem. This trit can then be used for minting, or it can be sold on secondary markets to other Decentralions. I should say that it's not just secondary markets. This is a token, can be sold on exchanges, on crypto exchanges. Can be sold on crypto exchanges to other Decentralions wanting to mint new Decentralions or attributes. And so the value of trit is entirely market derived. Trit is burned when it's used for minting, and both the supply of new trit earned when value creation from value creation and the trit cost of minting for each generation is algorithmically controlled to ensure the balance between supply and demand of both Decentralions and attributes is maintained. So if the supply of one generation begins to disrupt the 10 times ratio between the other generations, the trit cost of minting more of that generation will increase. And also, if the floor cost of the newest generation rises too high, the trit cost of producing that generation will fall, encouraging more of the generation to be minted, increasing the supply and therefore bringing the floor cost down. If the price of trit itself begins to rise too high due to demand, trit rewards for value creators will be increased to increase the supply. And so this is a dynamic that is in Axie Infinity, right? Because Axie, you've got a similar kind of breeding mechanic, just how Zedrun, you have two horses that breed to produce a new horse. In Axie Infinity, you bring two Axies together to produce a new Axie. But in order for that to happen, you need these tokens called love potions, or they're called like small love potions or something. And these love potions you can either buy off secondary markets, or you can play the game, the Axie Infinity game, and you can earn those love potions in the game. And in the Axie Infinity documentation, it says that it controls the like how much of these love potions you earn in the game based on the supply and demand. And so they can, in effect, control to some degree the cost of Axie Infinity, the cost of Axies, because if the price of an Axie starts to get too high in the markets, it's because there's not enough Axies being made, and that's maybe because the cost of producing those Axies is too high, because it's too hard to get the love potions in the game, and therefore there's not as much love potions on the market for sale. And so what happens when they start to see the price going too high for these base level axes, they increase the amount of the love potions that can be earned in game, and therefore they end up on the market, and therefore you get the idea. And so this token, it can be dynamically algorithmically controlled to impact the supply and demand. It's a really elegant solution. I really like it, and I prefer it to the floor, like the floor price idea, because in a way you are doing that, but it's kind of more dynamic this way. But the difference between this and Axie Infinity, and why I don't think games like Axie Infinity are ultimately sustainable, is because there's not actually any value being created inside Axie Infinity. It's not sustainable. So people who are playing Axie Infinity and they're actually earning rewards, which are, I think it's just like an Axie token, you know, it's not real, you know, like it's from an allocation of Axie Infinity, this token, and it's only sustainable if the game just continues to grow and grow and grow, and more people are coming in and putting money into the game, or there's more and more demand on the token, because as these tokens are paid out to the gamers, if it's a fixed supply, then they're going to run out at some point, and then they're screwed. If they're minting new Axies, or whatever these tokens are called, like Axie, whatever their liquid token is, if they're minting new tokens, then they're slowly inflating their own, hyperinflating their own token. And so it's only sustainable if they're continuing to grow and grow and grow and grow. And we've obviously been in a bear market for the last, good a year or something. So I don't think Axie Infinity has longevity, but the King Silver ecosystem is built from the ground up, where value is, like, real value is being created, and so all airdrops and payouts is from real value, right? There's no you know what I'm trying to say? There's no kind of like, well, you're getting paid because people are coming in and all that kind of bollocks. No, it's like real value's being created. And so this and by the way, this logo, this like symbol is another reason why I like the Trit, is because when I had the Thermesia project I was working on, this was the token symbol for Thermesia, because you've got T, like these two T's and then like an H in the middle, and Thermesia was about truth, and Themis, which is where Thermesia comes from, the Greek Titan Themis, was about like justice. And the Greek goddess, so the Greek Titan Themis, is then what led to the Roman, I forget her name now. I think it's just Lady Justice. Above every courthouse, that is also inspires the Statue of Liberty, there's the girl with a blindfold. She has a set of scales in one arm and a sword in the other. And the set of scales means like fairness and justice. The blindfold is like the fairness of justice, like there's no preferential treatment. And the sword represents the discernment between right and wrong, and that derives from the Greek Titan Themis. And so this T is like the balance, you know, you can see like the anyway, and I thought, well, fuck it, let's use it. It's a cool symbol. And if we go for tritium, then it's a T, you know, fusion, it's like doing some cool shit. I'm sure we've got some scientists out there, so yeah, fuck it. So I think this is a really elegant solution. I really like this direction, and it's kind of fun conceptually, you know. You need tritium to power the minting, but I'm interested to see what you guys think. And then FAQs, I haven't updated those yet. So that's what I've been working on today. So there's just a few extra elements that will come into play when you finally mint your Decentralion, and you don't know what you're going to get. And I think that's really cool. And even if the worst case scenario, you are like unlucky and you don't get anything super rare, you're still getting a founder Decentralion, which as this thing grows, you're going to end up with 1 of 100 out of potentially, who knows. And the last thing, and I haven't mentioned this here, is if we are going to maintain a 10x ratio between the generations, then at some, especially once we've got our 100 here, and then we get our 1,000 here, well, there's going to be people that still want heroes, and they're going to go to the founders to mint these heroes, and then the heroes are going to then become become greater than 1,000, and then the ratio between the founders and the heroes are going to get skewed, beyond the 10x. And so one of the things I thought of is we can do something where when that happens, it becomes allowed that a new founder can be minted, but only when that threshold allows it. So in other words, you would need 1,100 heroes for one new founder to be minted. And I'm trying to think of the best way of doing that. We'll think about it. It could be like an airdrop or something kind of cool, something that's kind of fair. So yeah, something like that. But it means that whatever happens, there will always be this approximate ratio between the generations. And so when we get to, the scholar level, we get to generation 8, you've got 100,000, 10,000, 100,000, million, 10. That's the scholar level would be 1 billion, right? And that means that you are kind of ensuring the rarity of each generation. Master J said, so the 10x cap is guaranteed by rising minting price and not by numerical cap, i.e. 1,000 for heroes. After that, it's done. Numerical cap. Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to have a numerical cap, because that means, if you think about it, 1,000 people is not a lot of people for the scope of the King Silver project. And so imagine you come to the project later on and it's all the good generations all taken, and it doesn't seem fair. You think, this King Silver looks awesome, I want to be involved, but I just can't get a hero now, So I like this idea that no, there's no limit on the amount that can be minted. There's just the minting is controlled via the cost of the trick cost, and and it's just and the ratio has to be maintained. And so if the hero increases relative, let's say you've got the 10x ratio, but then the hero starts to get a bit out of whack, it will become more and more expensive to mint the hero, which will attract people more to just getting a magician, get a knight, etc. to bring the ratio back. And then I think that's a really elegant solution. Does that make sense, Master J? Because you're the one who raised really good points yesterday. Can you see why I'm trying to do it this way? Because I think it's the really nice balance between the new people, the people who are in the very beginning, and the people who are coming, in 6 months, in a year, in 5 years, in 10 years. I mean, if I was going into an ecosystem and there was just no way I could get the great kind of the really, really good NFTs, I'm just locked out because I wasn't there in the beginning. Well, that kind of, I'm like, well, screw these guys. You know what I mean? It's like, Master J says, but someone who comes in later would either have to buy a hero from the market, true, or pay for it from a new mint, true. For them, it doesn't really matter how it happens. Yeah, true. But again, supply and demand. If people go to the market to get these heroes, well, then eventually the supply on the market will dry up, and then someone would either go and mint it directly from the founder, or the founder mints it and then takes it to the market. The difference being, if the founder mints it himself, if you mint your own one, you've got to pay the trick cost, right? And then I suppose that will reflect in the cost of the market. But that's an interesting thing. If you pay the TRIT cost and then put it on the market, well, then the next day the TRIT cost might have gone down or something, and so some competition next to you can then offer the minting for slightly less than you've offered it on the market, because you've had to cover your TRIT cost. Whereas somebody coming to you, they have to pay the TRIT cost, right? They have to come to you. They've got the TRIT, and they come to you. What do you guys think of the name of TRIT? Sounds a bit like tit, maybe. Maybe it's not good. But it's just I'm trying to like have some law that's founded on something real. And then we'll go look at Bitcoin in a second. Master J. Okay, so if the 10x ratio starts to get skewed, the TRIT price will rise prohibitively high and will prevent new ones from getting minted. Unless somebody like is just willing to pay that extra price, but it's just like supply, demand, and if something becomes like just exponentially more expensive, it becomes less attractive to somebody. It might be far more attractive to buy the one that the algorithm is kind of making it easier for you to buy, making it cheaper to buy, to bring that to bring it back into equilibrium. So other generation amounts will have to balance it out before the TRIT price will fall back again. So other generation amounts will have to balance it out before the TRIT price will fall back again. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But the algorithm would do that automatically. And so you can imagine the nice curve, right? The 10x curve from founder to hero to magician. If like the hero spikes up too much this way, it will like suppress it with a higher cost of TRIT in order to do those mints, which will slow down that, and at the same time it might reduce the cost of the TRIT cost of minting the next one, the magician, let's say, and on all of the ones, because they want to kind of bring those up. That's what I'm thinking. And I imagine something like this, in the beginning, not even in just the beginning, but we wouldn't want to sort of like code something and then bang, it's done. It's something that we would tweak, you know, and this is part of like the prototyping process. We would like, yeah, tweak this, tweak here, and then, you know, and we would always want to make sure that when we eventually build the decentralized autonomous organization atop this kind of stuff, nothing is like set in stone. Everything can be tweaked and changed and adjusted according to the governance architecture that we build over the top of this. But in the beginning, like the decentralized vision is a vision, right? If your dream is to build a self-reliant ship, well, the ship has to be built in the shipyard, so it has to be centralized first. And you say, yeah, interesting. Cool, okay. Well, if there's no more questions, if you haven't done it yet, go to kingsilver.com and get yourself on the waiting list. And I'm going to send an email out tomorrow, not to the waiting list. I'm going to send an email out to the main, the list of students that have bought the Wave Counting Immersion course. There's like 275, I think. And I'm going to let them know about Decentralions, send them to this whitelist, and then I will email everyone on the whitelist on probably Friday and Saturday and Sunday, and I'll let you know, right, on this time we're going live. And I think it'd be cool to do it on the live stream, you know, so I think that'd be fun. I think we'll go live. If I go live at 7 p.m. UK time, which is what I do, then I think we can go live with the NFT pre-mint at 8 p.m. So 7 p.m. I'm here to answer everyone's questions, and I'll hopefully get a good amount of people showing up who are interested. And then I'll be like, right, here we go, guys, 8 o'clock, bang. And then it'll be just like first come, first serve. And although there's no, again, going back to the collectability, there's no utility difference in somebody getting an earlier copy, an earlier one than a later one. But I suppose just there is the cool factor. So anyone who gets there first just gets rewarded for that. Master J says, any ideas on the potential price range of these Founders Decentralions? Yes. It's not a price range. I've got a price in mind. And that's one thing I need to include on this page. Yeah, so this page isn't finished. I'm sharing the page with you, but one thing the page is going to include is the price. And there's going to be a lot more stuff that's necessary with that, as well as the FAQs, the price, the total fundraise target, and also the allocation of those funds. What are the plans for those funds? And then also some kind of roadmap to show, okay, here's what the plan is going forward, so we can see that how this ties into the greater King Silver vision. It's not going to be like it's not going to be over $1,000, put it that way. Okay, so this is the balance we've got to strike. It's like what I'm not going to do, what I can't do, is talk about these as an investment. These aren't investments. These are utility tokens. If you're buying these, you're not buying them as investments. You're buying them as utility tokens because you want to use them inside the King Silver ecosystem. And if you want to collect them, if you want to buy more than one, for example, that's okay. But you're doing them as a collector because if these were investments, then some people could argue that they're like security tokens or something, which they're not. They're utility tokens. So just so you understand that, these are utility tokens. And it's not going to be over $1,000. Even though some people could argue that the potential value of these could be greater than that, but that's not what I'm saying, because these aren't investments. These are utility tokens. And we have to strike the right balance, because on one hand, it's like, what do I think that they are worth or potentially worth? And on the other hand, I want them to be accessible. But the whole point of this, ultimately, is to fund the development of everything we're doing with the King Silver project, the King Silver Academy, etc. So I'm going to lay that out on this website so you can see kind of what we're thinking. And in an ideal world, we raise all the money we need to give us a great runaway to do all the things that we want to do, which is win-win for everybody. If the King Silver, when the King Silver platform starts to get developed, when the King Silver platform starts to get some traction, when we grow the community, what's that going to do to the demand for the Decentralions, right? The more demand there are for Decentralions, then everyone who owns a founder, or if you have used your referral link, which you're going to get, right? Then you're going to have some heroes as well. So the greater the demand for the next generations of Decentralions, then there's some income to potentially be earned from these utility tokens. So yeah, so hopefully tomorrow I'll get that finished on this page. Any more questions? And then we can move on to Bitcoin. If there's no more questions, we'll just rock into Bitcoin. there's no questions, just say nay. Well, who's excited for the Decentralion launch on Sunday? Who's excited? Give me an emoji. I haven't seen any emojis today. Richard, are you saying no, you're not excited, or no, you have no questions? No questions. Cool. Master J says Twitch does not have normal emojis. All good. Richard, are you in the King Silver community? I don't recognize the name. Yes, haven't been very active. Well, welcome back anyway. Let's get stuck into a bit of Bitcoin, which is why a lot of you are here. So let me get myself nice and comfy. Move the mic. Get myself nice and relaxed. You'll start to see me kind of slouch down because I've got to get comfy if I'm doing my analysis. Oh, I moved the bloody thing. Okay. Let's try this again. The dongle is still like dodgy. Oh shit. There we go. Okay. What time is it? It's 9:15, which means I've been going for an hour and a quarter, which is okay. So I'm going to go for, at the very most, another 45 minutes, because I don't want to go over 2 hours. 3 hours is a bit much. And this chair that I'm on is not comfy. I think that's the main thing. If I was in like a comfy chair, I'd be fine. But it's just like a wooden stool, and sitting in a wooden stool for 3 hours is a bit intense. All right, so I think yesterday we were, what's this, February the 22nd. So we were here last night, right? Price had come down, it had hit the 1-2, the third warning line, and it was moving upwards. And I said that I'd be expecting, I thought price was going to come down one more time, but it hasn't. It hugged this warning line beautifully, and but either way, I said I thought it was going to come back up and test this line. That is if this was a leading diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then what would that mean? That would mean that this was the end of the fifth wave and the end of the third wave, and then we'd get the beginning of this drawn out, this fourth wave correction here. And so all moves typically start with an impulse. This looks corrective. Someone pointed out that it could be, a leading diagonal, but it feels corrective to me. Just lots and lots of overlap. But again, Like, could it be like a leading diagonal in a wave 1? Yeah, fine. But then where's the, I suppose then that could be a wave 2 correction. Again, this looks impulsive, but we'll get to that in a second. I suppose the 1 would be there, and then like a running flat 2, and then a 3, 4, 5. I mean, look, it could be, man. It could be. And then this would make this the second wave correction. It looks impulsive, but we'd have to go into this wave here to see what's going on, because if this wave is corrective, then we could be looking at a correction up here. Let's see how much this wave. But what's kind of cool, what's kind of interesting, is this. Look how it went up and it broke through this this line that I'd drawn here. But where did it stop? It stopped in. You see this supply zone? What I've written as a supply zone here, right? Which comes back to. We had a point of control back here, point of control here, point of control here, and even down here, point of control. So with this whole area of volume, and you can see this on the left here, this is like the spike in volume, and it came back and it hit that level and it came back down. And this line coming out here is a virgin point of control, because this day here on Tuesday, price broke down. There was this price level here, where most of the volume was, but it broke down before coming back to retest it. And before, if it does that, it becomes, it's called a virgin point of control or a naked point of control. I prefer virgin because it's kind of more descriptive. It hasn't been touched. And so when that happens, there is a more than statistically important probability that price will return to that point of control. And there's reasons for that, but I'm going to go into that when I teach that on the course. And what's kind of interesting as well, from back here, this is back on Friday the 17th, price broke out up high, and we had this virgin point of control that just took us all the way across here, and price came all the way back down, and it didn't quite touch it. And then it came back up, and then it came back down, and it scooped up and took it out. And you can see when price finally reached it, this line stops going off to the right, because this is what the tools. If you click on this, extended point of control right, and then that means the virgin point of control will extend out to the right when it's not when it hasn't been tested. And so we came up here. We didn't quite hit this virgin point of control, which means there is a probability that we are going to come back and hit it again. And so let's kind of explore that. So first of all, I want to see how much this has retraced. It looks like a 50% retrace. Let's have a look. That almost a 60, yeah, just a hair below 61.8. So what degree might we be on? If this is the fifth wave, this be the first. If this was the first wave, I mean, this looks impulsive. If this is impulsive, then are we seeing an A and a B? But the thing is, that B would be incredibly high for a B. It's very uncommon to get a B that deep. Well, yeah, I mean, it's exceeded what you would expect for a B wave, which means, like, again, like probabilities. Although saying that, yeah, I wouldn't rest on the idea that this is a B wave. That's not going to be the highest probability thing. One. I mean, does that look like a correction? I don't think so. So what we're going to have to do is we are going to have to go. We are going to have to go deeper. Not KuCoin. We want Binance. Okay. We can bring back the volume profile in a bit. In fact, these are annoying. We don't need these. Yeah, I don't even know what these are for. All right. So the first thing is could this be an ending diagonal? Well, if this was an ending diagonal, then it would give the first wave would give us a 50% retrace. So it's like a 1, 2, 3, third wave, 4, and then the 5. Because I think it was Kaz who pointed out that this could have been, when we were looking at this as a potential C wave of an A, B, C flat correction, and you were saying, well, it could be an ending diagonal in the C, and I was saying, yeah, but I don't think it's very, very common to get an ending diagonal in the C wave of a flat correction. But as a leading diagonal, maybe. And the structure works for that. So let's just go with that for now, because like if this was a correction, if I was going to do this as a correction, like 1, 2, 3, so I like that as a first correction, and then we've got the counter correction, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we're getting a 1, 2, 3. We are getting a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of structure. If this was a third wave structure, a 3-wave kind of corrective structure, 1. Yeah, it makes more sense as a leading diagonal than it does as a corrective structure. So I'm going to stick with that for now as my leading hypothesis. Which means we would have in the higher degree think my mic is too sensitive. It keeps like, sorry, the music is too sensitive. Like I do a little tap and the music dies down. Oh, just noticed the screen just went dodgy again. Okay. Yeah, I'll change that later. It's too technical. Okay. I think we did this yesterday, didn't we? And we didn't really get anything interesting. Nope. Pardon me. Well, well, this looks corrective to me. I thought it was impulsive, but when we got up close, we see, you know, an ABC, X, ABC. So there's a WXY here. You guys see that? Triangle X, A, B, C, D, E. And there's the Y there. You guys see that? That's going to be submicro, I believe. Master J looks corrective, yeah. Now let's do a oops, did them the wrong way around. That's a modified shift or a channel, and so looks like it's responding to it quite nicely. The upper parallel, some movement here, sorry, some support resistance. So yeah, I'm liking that. But then obviously once we get down here, I don't know how effective it's going to be? Yeah, maybe. It's interesting. Let's just fade this out a little bit. Just leave it in the background slightly while we continue working. So if this is WXY, then I mean that means this could be the second wave here, but that means we'd be expecting a third wave. Or at least we would expecting this is the first wave, second wave, and another third wave down, maybe. Again, I'm just starting with hypotheses, test, hypothesis, hypotheses, test, hypothesis, hypothesis. I'm going to put a hoodie on because it's starting to get a bit chilly in here. I could just be like this, couldn't I? This is my hacker outfit. All right. I mean, that's a nice 61.8 retrace, right? That's the perfect wave 2. That's what you want to. It's kind of what you would like to see. So if that's the case, then if that's wave 2, well, then this is the beginning of wave 3, which means this is wave 1 of 3, right? Is that what we're seeing? I mean, that looks corrective. 1, 2, 3. So again, starting from hypotheses, test the hypotheses. What could this be? Well, we could be seeing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 first wave and second wave. Let's test that. I think that'd be from here to here. We get a nice perfect 61.8 retrace on that. So that wouldn't be this color though, that would be I think that'd be the one down, I think. So okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. I mean, look at this insane fourth wave, but okay. Fourth wave there, fifth wave there, somewhere like that. Oh, 2. Master J, a leading diagonal is the first wave of this unfolding 3. Here? What, here you think? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah, but then it's like a little tiny correction there. And that's not really common for a wave 2. I see what you're saying, like, you're kind of saying this, aren't you, right? Like something like that. Right, I think that's what you're saying, right? But look at this, like that would be the wave 2 correction. So I wouldn't lead with that, right? No, not that far. Oh, you say okay? You're saying this, I guess. Well, that wave 1. Oh, wave 2, wave 3. Sorry, wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think you're saying that, aren't you? Okay. Oh. Interesting. Yeah, it's not bad. You've been learning. Look at you. I mean, this is a beautiful correction, right? Really nice. Like you can't really ask for a better, a nice channeling correction. You can't really ask for more, right? But what I was going to do, again, hypothesis test. I was going to do a wave 1, a 2, and this was going to be wave 1, 2. Yeah, I think your idea is better. You should teach this, Master J. Oops. But then let's try and work this out. Because then what the hell is going on here? Are we going to be getting like a sort of a big triangle, right? Let's see how this does. Again, look at that, 61.8. And then 1, 2, is that 3, 4, 5? As the volume, extended fifth wave, let's say 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, and then a big extended fifth wave. Sure, that's possible. That's the most relative volume compared to this. That makes sense for a third wave. But then this is a super deep. Let's see what kind of retrace we would, if we've got a 61.8, it means we'd be expecting a 38.2 retrace on the fourth wave, which is going to give us a potentially really shallow one. But I mean, I don't think we're going to get that. But that would be a thing here. But if we are getting a, if this is like condensing into a triangle now, if this is going to give us this kind of pattern, I have to wait to wait to watch it unfold. Then, although triangles don't really adhere to Fibonacci as much as other things, but or corrective. So we're not going to get a chance tonight, but if that kind of condenses, that could be a nice little like fifth wave down opportunity. Yeah, so again, we don't know that's finished. It might be like more, again, looking at this, that could be impulsive correction, and then another move up, and then the triangle isn't quite as, whatever. We'll have to wait and see, but could be like a, and if that's the case, then a fifth wave with such a deep wave 4, look, compared to where this is, you have to look at the as it unfolds. If you do get this, and you have to look at the reward risk ratio. You'd put your stop. Again, we'll see if this ends up being an A, B, C, D, E. We'll see where the C stops, so we get a nice stop loss behind the C, perhaps. As long as you've got a reward risk ratio, that means when you've got your target, if it ends up here, for example, it's like, as long as you get something like that and you think, okay, yep, I've got a good reward risk ratio, that's your sort of your fifth wave trade. Again, that's obviously, we're stacking on assumptions here. We're stacking on the assumption that this is the correct wave count. Before committing to any kind of trade, you've got to play devil's advocate against yourself and go, okay, how could I be wrong here? Like, how could I be looking at this completely wrong? Completely wrong meaning there's another wave count alternative out there that I haven't considered, where it's actually suggesting the price is going to do the opposite of what I'm thinking. Because if there's other wave counts out there that are suggesting that price is going to go in the same direction that you're anticipating, but just for a different reason, then kind of who cares? I mean, in the end, you're going to get the same result. But that's when if you do other analysis and you find there's kind of confluence in the different alternatives, in that whether you think, oh, this is either a 3 wave going up or it's an A wave going up, it's like, well, okay, well, either way, you can still make money either way. But the challenge comes, and really the responsibility of yourself as an analyst is to find these, is to say, right, well, this analysis suggests that after this kind of corrective phase, we're going to get a move down, and my minimum target is that price for that, and there's my stop loss to protect myself from risk. But if you just stop there, then you're being lazy, right? Hang on. What the hell? If you just stop there, you're being lazy, right? You've got to do the work, and so you have to play devil's advocate against yourself. You've got to just step back and go, okay, even though this looks great, let's say, step back and think, how could I be wrong? Master J, could be that wave 2, which is the primary, is still unfolding. Yeah, that's another possibility as well. I mean, this is a perfect, like, it's hit the 61.8, so it's a nice thing to consider. But that's another possibility. This, like, because we started off by, we can get rid of that, we don't need that now. I started off by saying that this could be, rather than, because I've got this as a WXY, right? So this could be a flat correction. But then I've got a 1, 2, 3. Yes, this could be an ABC, and that's a flat correction. So that's another possibility. It's quite nice, actually, because that's a B, and then we'll be expecting, see, look, then we'll be expecting the opposite move in the other direction, right? So let's see which one we prefer the most. I'll tell you why this one's interesting. Well, first let's bring up the retracement for that. So obviously I said it's a very, very deep retrace for a B, but I'm thinking of a zigzag, right? Of course, the flat correction, that's by definition what you get with a B wave of a flat correction, and so that would make sense that rather than an a 1, 2, 3, and then this super deep wave 4. Which, do you remember, like, what the main reason why I stepped back from the idea of this being a wave 4 correction was just the depth of it, compared, like, relative to, like the little wave I thought I'd found down here. Just a super, again, can happen, that's fine, but the depth of it made me just kind of want to explore other possibilities. But you're like, yeah, well spotted. I almost said your name there, Master J. I think I prefer this as a flat correction. I think I do, yeah. I think I do prefer this as a flat correction. And so, that would mean these would go 1 degree lower. Pardon me. And that would mean we wouldn't really need this to be a leading diagonal in the A, B, C, although this C does look impulsive. I was going to say we could do a WXY, but this looks impulsive here, so I think an ABC would be fitting, and this would be a leading diagonal in the A. So we take that down a degree. And that means we're now expecting an impulse, right? And if that's the case, what do we do if we're expecting an impulse? What do we do here? Right? What do I want to be drawing here if we think this is our wave 1 and wave 2? What's the next thing we need to draw? Who knows the answer? But isn't it interesting? Base channel, correct. Well done. Yeah, you both got it right. Well done, Marcus. Well done, Master J. So isn't it interesting that I was just talking about how there might be an alternative wave count that means price, we'd be expecting price to go in a different direction. But here's the thing, even if we hadn't have considered that, the prior wave count would have, like I was saying, well, maybe we're looking for like a condensing kind of corrective pattern like that. But if this is indeed wave a 1 and a 2, right? And what would that mean this is? Right, guys? What would that mean this is? If this is wave 1 and 2, what might it mean this is? Correct again, Master J. Well done. Yeah, this would be the first of the third. So 1, 2, and then so. If that's the case, we wouldn't have lost anything, because we'd have been waiting for like this kind of condensing triangle, and then price would have shot out here, so we wouldn't have lost anything. But when it did that, we'd be like, then we might have come across this wave count here. So what's cool, let's go into this, is this a wave 1, 2, 3, the volume comes in. So, this could be impulsive here. And then, I mean, this is all corrective down here, no problems there. Let's see how much of a retrace this gives us. Very deep, which is what we want with a wave 2, very cool. And that would be the minuscule. So just past the 78.6. And it's also, found resistance on one of our warning lines. But that could become a huge impulse compared to the A wave. Yeah, that's what we would expect. Now, look at this unfolding right now, okay? So if this is the case, we're in the 5 minutes, I don't want to go any lower, and we've got this kind of correction here, and this is 1, 2, 3. So let's say that's I'm seeing the divergence here. That could be an impulsive structure. That means we need to find the retracement here. We can see like this warning line is giving us some support. Let's see if we've got any profile volume. That's the volume area right there. And so is that this is the third wave of a wave 5 A B C down. I'm going to extend this one more. Oh, I've done that already. And so let's give ourselves, so we've hit the at least 50%, but could that be a little ABC there, or is this a 1, 2, 3 correction, 4, 5, another correction, and then down further? I'm going to do a regular pitchfork. It's kind of exciting down in the 5 minutes, isn't it? Let's do a regular pitchfork here. So you can see price is like coming up and hugging this point here, breaking down. That's okay. Let's change this to a modified shift, which is a channel. Look at that. Look where price. Look where price reached. This is not an accident, guys. Okay, so now we couldn't have there was no entry into here in this particular trade here. That's fine. And price is now coming back down, and so probability wise, we've got this lower parallel here. So that's what I would actually be. And as you get down here, if we're expecting, if this is a first wave and then a third wave, and look, this looks kind of impulsive and corrective, and this does look more impulsive. So given this particular wave count, that we're expecting a nice big wave C, and the wave C in this flat correction would take us kind of up here, and I'll show you what I mean. So if we have the A and the B, and then I'll show you the flat extension. This is the minimum level we'll be looking for, and so if we do the prophecy extension on what we think could be our wave 1, then it means that we could be according to this, the third wave could come up all the way here and beyond, but the oh sorry, no, hang on, yeah, I mean, we'll see, because we could get a third wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 up to there, and then the 5 could take us up to here. We'll see. We'll have to come back to that. I mean, we broke market structure here, we broke market structure here, and we've got a little bit of divergence, I think. Oops. I don't know why, but my nose keeps getting blocked when I'm doing these live streams. Yeah, is that divergence? Just a touch divergence between here and here. Do we have price momentum? Yeah, we have more momentum divergence. Same with the histogram. So we've got like nice divergence, which indicates change in trend. We've got then this break in market structure here and a break in market structure here, and we've got this nice modified shift pitchfork, which then probability wise, you know, I'm not saying it's going to head down here, but if it starts to get down here in a corrective fashion, and again, depends what kind of trader you are. You like trading fifth waves, third waves, all that kind of stuff. But let's label this. So we've got the A, B, and then with the minuscule 1. Oops, missed it. 2, and then 3, 4, 5, whatever. Get rid of the triangle hypothesis. And another thing we can do see this? I've got connectivity problems. That's why that didn't show up. Let's try refreshing it. Okay, it's 10:01, so I'm gonna wrap this up if I can just bloody get it working. Hang on, let me just check my internet connection really quickly. So I restarted and I think I've lost the entire, oh, it's there, sweet. Okay, I thought I'd lost everything. That would have been annoying. Okay, so if this is wave 1 and 2, then we can do a prophecy extension on this to anticipate a potential wave 3 in that degree. Wave 1 extension, so that's what these are the levels we'd be looking at, the minimum levels down here. Let's make this a little bit wider. So that's the kind of level. Let's make this red. So that's the, like, it's rare you get the 1.382. So the 1.618 is like the first kind of go-to really. And so, but look, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like, you know, it's doable, but it's not very much. It's not much very high above this base channel. So anyway, that's just something to keep in mind. And I've done that. Yes, I've done this already. I've got a nice modified. But just to have it on the screen, we can have give us a regular. See, now it starts to get quite confusing, doesn't it? When you've got multiple pitchforks sort of going in the same direction. So we would have to really decide what we found valuable, right? And it's interesting what price is doing right now. Let's just silence that one for now. Because you know, it's better to have the macro ones on than the micro. That's interesting. No. Yeah, so it's 10:04. I'll carry on going for a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. And so that wave count, I've run out of degrees, but it would be a wave 1, and we're looking for a wave 2 or something, maybe down to there, and then a wave, 3, 4, 5, who knows. I've run out of degrees, so I'm going to just make one up, just cheat a little bit. And again, this modified shift pitch fork, we can just see that as a base channel, right? It's a base channel. So this is, yeah, I'm liking this so far as my kind of primary. I think I like this more than this as a impulse down. We didn't get a break in this market structure. This is still right. So we didn't get a lower low. Right. We got a higher low here. And then a big move up, a big rejection up. So we got a right, higher low. This hasn't been broken. Then a big rejection, a big move up. Because think of the psychology of a wave 4, right? It tends to be more shallow. It doesn't, it's not as common to be a huge rejection in a wave 4. So that feels more impulsive, right? Which is what we would expect with a wave 2. Then we've got this correction down and a move up, breaking some market structure again. So this is definitely my favorite, right? And now, could this be the correction here? It's kind of found resistance at the lower parallel here of the pitchfork, the regular pitchfork, like exactly on the 50% there. And we'd have to go down into lower time frames. Yeah, look at this, look at this. Correction, another move down. Right to the 50%. But again, we don't know if because we've got this confluence here, we've got this point here. The thing is that like where would the stop loss be? It's so far down here. That's the only issue. Like a 50% retrace for a wave 2, it's like it's quite a long way for it to travel. And you know, it's bounced off this median line and it's come halfway down. And you know, in terms of like weighing up probabilities, and this is what I was talking about. I forget who I was talking to, one of you guys. I was saying, like, you know, is there a trade here? Like for some people, yeah, like for some people there's a trade in every particular direction, but you know, you've got to know what your trade is and never feel like you're missing out. Like there's opportunities everywhere. We're down in the 5 minutes now, right? So there's so much going on. You could spend, if you were a day trader, that's what you wanted to do. There's just so, and this is just Bitcoin. There's God knows how many cryptocurrencies there are. There is opportunity. There's an abundance of opportunities, and so never feel like you're missing out. Of like, if you only want to trade, let's say third waves after a deeper retrace, because then you get a tighter stop loss, then that's cool. Then if this is like a very shallow wave too, don't, you know what I mean? Don't feel like you're missing out, because it's not your strategy. Because there will be, if this is like your, you know, you want to wait for like a deeper thing down here, like let's say down there, then that gives you, if that's what you want to do, right, with a much tighter stop loss, and then you've got a nice beautiful target. Oops, you know, beautiful. But guess what? Then there's going to be some situations, many situations, where it doesn't do that. It gives you like, it's a shallow wave 2 and you don't catch it, but don't feel bad. That's not your trade. It's not your trade. But you see the break in market structure. We've broken this market structure. We've just about broken that market structure, right? Before coming back down. And it's not coming back down super strong. Again, we'll see. And if price had bounced off this median line on this regular pitchfork and then came back down, and we had like a bit of resistance, like it kind of broke down below it, but we had a bit more kind of a stronger reaction to this lower lower parallel here, then I might be more interested in this as an entry, let's say, because I'm seeing price responding to this geometry. But price hasn't really responded to the geometry of this regular pitchfork yet. But let's do something again. There's some things slip the mind, right? What we can do is we can do a sliding parallel, right? Because price didn't quite reach the median line. And so what we can do is we can do a phase shift. That's the sliding parallel, and then the phase shift would be on the other side of this, and look where it lands, right? And if you remember, a phase shift is, look, it's where the geometry shifts. And so we are getting some response to this geometry. Where are we? There we are. Sliding parallel, we'll just label this as number 1. Oh, let's put that over to the left. And sliding parallel, I do like a phase shift, number 1. And again, over to the left, just so I know where they're being labeled. So if price breaks down below this and comes down to here, but again, look at this structure. God, this is the 5 minute. Can we go lower? I mean, this looks, what's going on here? 2, 3. Is this a leading diagonal? Could be. 2, 3, 4, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The volume 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so that, I mean, that's actually quite like that. That's a leading diagonal, and the sharp move. What's that as a retrace? Doesn't look like it's even 50%. Looks like a 38.2. Yeah, so very, very shallow. Yeah, 38.2. Which, okay. And then, So I'm seeing a kind of corrective thing here of some kind. But could we also be seeing a wave 1, 2, and this is the first wave of a 3, it's going to change direction. So I guess what I'd want to see with this is, I mean, ultimately, it's a so this is what maybe A, B, and a C, and we've got one more push down maybe, because I think this looks, I mean, I can't go any lower than the 1 minute. I can, but you know. But is this a A and a B and the C? We've got 1, 2, 3, fourth wave correction, and a 5, or is it A, B, C, like a W, X, and then a Y? In which case, this would be the completion, and that would mean that the second wave has completed already, right at the 5. And then now we've got, this could be like a leading diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we get a second wave correction. So I suppose if we get a second wave correction here, and maybe let's just look at this geometry here, and I'll maybe make another sliding parallel there. So if we get this within this contained leading diagonal structure here, because this does look kind of nice, doesn't it, as a sort of a corrective pattern, corrective structure. Sorry, it's kind of nice, and so and again, because it is hitting some geometry, and look, so here's the move. So here's the move down, breaking outside of this. So you've got a leading diagonal, perhaps there may be an ABC correction. So we're basically looking for. And again, I'm brainstorming. I'm not like saying this is what's going on. It's kind of exciting in these lower time frames, in the 1 minute, because there's a lot going on. Do you know what I mean? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now it's broken up higher. Okay, so look at that. So is that what we saw? Is this the end of the wave 2? We've got the wave, either the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then the correction down to the just below the 51, just below the 50%, and then is this now the beginning of wave? So we're in wave 1, 2, and then wave 1, 2, and then now so if it breaks up above this, then this could be then wave 1 of the 3, and then we've got another pullback in that 1, and that might be a potential entry there if you were, doing that. But it's definitely trickier, man. Like, again, I'm a swing trader, so when you're in deep like this, it's just like stuff's happening so fast, and there's so many different types of analysis that you can do. But I'm just sort of talking through my thought process, which I suppose it is great content, because when you're just like chilling out back here, there's not much to talk about, and you have to come back to it every few days and see how it's going. But when you're down in the 1 minute and the 5 minute, I'm literally just talking, thinking through the thought process. So I think it will be exciting once I've got through the past the NFT launch, got back into module 21. Then once I do like the idea of a segment of these live streams will be like trading for real, right? And we'll start with there we go, look at that. So it's breaking up now. So that. So you saw it live, right? You saw it live being processed. And could that have been a position that we got into? Like, you saw the thought process of considering it, but why there was doubt, because we hadn't got it hadn't responded to this pitchfork really. And I mean, we found the nice phase shift, but that's the only thing we found. And so it didn't give me a lot of like strong confidence that this lower parallel, this is the first time really this lower parallel has actually been tested. So the way that I like to use pitchforks for entries is not only do we want to find as much confluence as possible, but the first touch of the lower parallel, let's say, it's not enough for me. I need that second touch. Now look, we've got the first touch, but it broke down past it a bunch of times, right? So in this particular instance, it just wasn't like clean cut. It wasn't clean cut, and that's okay. And let's say this goes off to the races, don't feel bad. Don't feel like you've missed out. These are happening all the time. These are, you can go a whole day without making a trade, and that's fine. You make a trade on one day, you don't make a trade another day. You can make one trade a week, 2 trades a week. As long as you're sticking to your plan and you're not making rash decisions and you're not kind of FOMOing and that, feeling that wrenching of emotion, that's not trading. Trading, you're a sniper and you've got a target, and you will wait. If you're like elite level, you will wait for days, just waiting. And then, when you get your target, and like I said yesterday, that's one of the biggest thing that fucks people up. You feel like you should be trading. No, what you should be doing is looking for your trade setup. And if you've been doing this a while and maybe you've got a few different trade setups you like doing, you look for those setups. And if something comes along that looks similar to your setup, but there's nowhere to put your stop loss, it's just not giving you what you need, don't YOLO into it. The YOLOing into it of like, oh, well, I might miss out. You're not trading anymore. You're not trading, you're gambling. You're just throwing money on a horse, and that's not what trading is, right? Trading is you are engaging in a game of probability, and you're the one setting the rules, right? You are the casino. And the second you YOLO into things and you stop following the plan that you've got for yourself, you stop being the casino, and now you're the player, right? So I think that's a good time to wrap this up. I think that was quite fun. But look at that, like Wave, either we can't go any deeper, but either a leading diagonal is quite a nice shape. We had the retrace down to the 50% approximately. I think that's about right. Where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it was up here. There we go. Yeah. So almost the 50%. Or we had a wave 1 and then like a running flat or something, and then you can do like a base channel or a modified shift even here, but down in the 1 minute. It's kind of fun, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. And that would be our modified shift. So and the base channel would be, we don't need all of these yet. There we go. So yeah, you can do this on all time frames. It's quite exciting on these lower time frames. It's quite fun for content. I'm just like literally just an ongoing monologue of thought. But hopefully that helps, guys. I hope that that was beneficial. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you learned a lot. Hit me up in the chat. Let me know what you think. And then we'll wrap it up for the day. Marcus says, love it. Love it. Nice. Master J, very useful, beneficial. Thank you. All good, mate. Tony's happy. All right, let's wrap it up for the evening then. Kaz, awesome. Great, glad you enjoyed it. Oh, I've frozen again. Who's responsible this time? Tony, was that you? Let's fix this. Yeah, Kaz says 1 minute charts the world. Yeah, it's fast, isn't it? It's pretty cool. Great content, I think. Right, the last time I tried to change the camera or fix the camera, OBS crashed. Sorry, OBS is my streaming software. So if it crashes again, I'm not going to restart the stream, right? Because this is the end. So if the stream goes down, it's because the whole thing crashed. So I'm going to try and fix the camera now. Tony, yeah, you broke it. Okay. So I'm going to try and fix it. If it breaks, then then appreciate you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. No, we fixed. All right, cool. Yeah, no disasters. All right, Tony, just stop poking at things. All right. All right, so I'm going to be, if you're not on the whitelist, make sure you get over to the whitelist. I'm going to be sending an email out to everyone. Well, first I'm going to send an email out to all the students. I want you guys to have like first refusal. I want you guys to be the first ones to get a chance to get a Decentralion. Hands up, fingers up, whatever. Someone who is really keen to get one. So give me a finger or something. And then once I've emailed everyone, all of the students, then I'm going to email all of the newsletter as well. Marcus says, "Where is the whitelist?" I'll give you the address. Maybe I think you weren't here at the beginning, Marcus. Right, I've just typed the link in, Marcus. So kingsilver.com/Decentralions. So it's here, right? kingsilver.com/Decentralions, and that's the whitelist right there. Yeah. So put your name in, email address, join whitelist, and that's it. You're locked in. Because you're not going to be able to buy one on this page. This is just the information page. So you need to join the whitelist. And then it'll be first come, first serve on Sunday when I do it. But it's going to be, I really like the idea of it doing it like live on stream. Might be really fun. And I'll do that at the stream will be 7 p.m. UK time as normal. And then 8 p.m. will be, I think, this is not 100% yet, but I like the idea of doing that 8 p.m. when it goes live. Marcus says, I want defo. Master J poking his finger. Cool. Make sure you're on the waiting list, and yeah, all good. So I hope you've enjoyed today. Cheers for being with me. I'm going to go and just chill out for a little bit. I'm going to carry on working on this, Decentralion page. And then, yeah, if I don't speak to you in the community, I'll be back here. Actually, no, not tomorrow, because it's Thursday today. So I'll speak to you via email. I'll send you an email about the Decentralions. And if I don't speak to you beforehand, have a great weekend. And then remember, Sunday is the launch of the Decentralions pre-mint, the private pre-mint. This Sunday, the live stream's at 7 p.m. UK time, and the sale will be going on. Unless anything changes, my goal is to have it happen at 8 p.m. UK time sharp. So have a great weekend, and I will maybe see you on Sunday. Bye.